HaKodesh, the time of taking out of the Sefer Torah, it says that it's a special Eid Ratzon, a time that you can ask things from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because it's symbolic. The opening up of the gates of the Ark, the taking out the Torah is symbolic to the Neshama of Adam, because we spoke about this many times, the principle that Yisrael, the Eiraisa, the Kudsha, Brichul Chad, Am Yisrael, and the Torah, Hashem is one. And when it takes out the Sefer Torah, it's like opening up the gates for the Neshama who can ask for Hashem. That's what we say on Yom Tov. We say the 13 traits of mercy of Hashem. It's a time of Eis Ratzon. Kal v'chayma, ben b'nai shel kal v'chayma. You know what kal v'chayma is, right? Surely all the more, the taking out of the Torah of the Oraim is the beginning, the first weeks of the Zman. That's the taking out of the Oraim of the Torah Shebal Peh, the oral Torah. Everybody comes back after the vacation, and if they did learn, if they didn't learn, whatever, but they come back and lose Zman, everybody begins the Zman positive. What happens in the middle of the Zman, that's another story. But at the beginning, everybody's enthusiastic, and this Zman he's going to make it, this Zman he's going to understand the Gemara, this Zman he's going to learn about Samada. Everybody begins, which is a big schus on Am Yisrael. Everybody begins the Zman with enthusiasm. And that enthusiasm, that's Shalheves Kor, that's a flame of Kedusha. The Zman begins with a flame of Kedusha. It's as if one takes the oral Torah out of the Ark. It's the taking that, and therefore the beginning of the Zman is an Eis Ratzon. It's a time of Ratzon. Alis Vilasi Lecha Hashem Eis Ratzon. And somebody told me that the Mashiach, who was in Lakewood today, then he was in Gateshead, Rabbi Tisur Solomon, that he saw the chush, that he used to daven long Shemona Esreis in the beginning of the Zman. Eis Ratzon. Kipshuta. He used to say Eis Ratzon, and he would daven Shemona Esrei longer, because when all Klal Yisrael comes back after Rabbeinu Zman, we see Chas v'Shalom, there's a way of explaining it not naturally, like everything, but we see Chas v'Shalom that all terrible things happen to Yeshiva Bochum Bein Hazmanim. And I remember for years, it's every Bein Hazmanim who hears terrible things. It's true, naturally they go on to Yulim and it's more dangerous, etc. But Ruchniistic-wise, we know that every cause in this world has, the natural causes are just covering up for unnatural causes, but the true causes are unnatural causes. The Gemara says, Ein Pur'onius Bon La'olam Ela B'Shvil Bitul Torah. The cause of all the tzoros, the problems in the world, is because of negligence in the study of Torah. And the Bein Hazmanim meaning is justified, but the fact is a fact. You know, it says in the Chazal, it says that we have a principle, you know, the Na'arol like Tasa Dova. If you do an Aveira and you're forced to do the Aveira, you don't get punished. But even though Einus Patas, but there's another principle called Einus is not, you say in Aramaic, Einus is not Keman the Ovid. It's command the lay of it. If you did, it's as if you didn't do what you were forced. But if you didn't put on tefillin and you were forced that you couldn't put on tefillin, there was no way. It's all right. You won't get punished for it. But if you didn't put on tefillin, there's no way that you'll get the schar for putting on tefillin. You didn't put on tefillin.
It says if you wanted to do a mitzvah and it was taken away from you, it's mine olam v'kasam.
If it's the mashu, you didn't do it. It could be you get schar for that machshav tayla. Maybe some the asiyah the poil yesh b'zeh mashu. It's a good kasha. But his Einus is not command. Maybe all the timuts, there's different madregas than Einus. There's different madregas. Even if you're an Einus, but commander of it, you don't, let's say the schools of the mitzvah, you don't have it. In other words, the Hagon, the extra schar that the Torah is Magino Umati, that the Torah protects. If you did, if the Am Yisrael is not learning Torah, you can't say that maybe the schar will get, but there's no Torah there. There's no Torah to protect. That you need for the protection of the Torah. That you need the mamashas of the Torah mamash. Even if you say the Bein Hazmanim is justified, but if I die, Am Yisrael is in a danger which they're not in the Zman. So the Zman, everybody comes back with Cheshik to learn Torah, and that's included in the whole idea of Rashis. This connects this idea of Chlal. The concept of the Rashis is so important. Magid Bereshis Nova Achis. The Rashis, the beginning, is very, very important. It's not stam. The guy that begins the Zman with enthusiasm, and even after later it doesn't work out, it's a totally different thing than if he didn't begin his Zman with enthusiasm. He didn't begin his Zman correctly. And we see this principle that in the first word of the Torah. How do you see the first word of the Torah? What's the first word of the Torah? Gracious. Chazal darshan. Bishvil. But the base, they darshan, they interpret bishvil. For the purpose of. For the purpose of gracious. Nivra ha'olam. And in Medrash, one of the drashas, one of the interpretations, for those mitzvahs which are called gracious. In Am Yisrael, the gracious, the beginning is kodesh. Reish, what?
Reish is in head. Rosh.
Rosh is head, the beginning. This first thing. What's Reishis? Truma. You have to give to the Kayin. You set aside, it's called the Reishis. The Reishis, Bikurim. The first fruit to ripen, you give to Hashem. The Bechar, you have to be Poi the Pidyon Ben. The animal, the firstborn, you have to bring him if he's kosher. A Behema, you have to bring him for a Karban. The Char Behema, give it to the Kayin. The Reishis is Kodesh. And in the same way, that's the whole sphere of Sa'ima. Reishis Ketzirchem. The first is an Isser of the Torah, Isa Chodesh. What is Isa Chodesh? That the new product that grows after Pesach, the whole new wheat of the Chamesh Minim, is also to eat. When does it become mutter to eat? The next Pesach, when one brings the Reishis Ketzirchem, Lakoyin, the first of the Ketzir of the new Ketzir, one brings it to, not the Lakoyin, puts it on the Mizbeach, that's Matir, all the Chodesh, everything that took root after last Pesach, between the second day Pesach and this second day Pesach, everything that took root, which wasn't grounded, that's called Chodesh and was forbidden to eat. When you bring the first of the new crop as a korban oimer, that's matir, the Chodesh, that makes it mutter. And from that we count the oimer till that's how Yoim Mishal Oimer, Shady Oimer. The oimer is the Reishis, it's also Kodesh Reishis. Why is the Reishis Kodesh L'Shem? What is the reason that the first, and it says for these mitzvahs, Nivra Olam, because the Reishis is the idea that everything belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that He's the Reishis. When we give the Reishis to Hashem, the first of everything, we're really saying, Hashem Aratzimaya, everything. But what can we do? We have to use it as a keli. To the contrary, by making the Reishis, by making the first totally dedicated to Hashem, this reminds us that the rest, even if it's for us, it's also not for us. It's a tool to serve Hashem. The Gashmias is not for us, it's only to serve Hashem. So the Reishis, and because everything goes after the Reishis. So if you begin with enthusiasm, you begin this man, then the rest, even if you don't keep up the same madrega, but it's Mekadesh, the rest. The Reishis, everything goes after, everything is totally in the beginning. To the point that we have, it's known the Gemara of the Tana that went out of the way. Acher. Tana Elisha ben Avuya, that he left the derech of Torah mitzvahs. Something that it's very hard to understand. He didn't lose his amun, but he left the derech. And the Gemara says that he left the derech because it wasn't, his father dedicated him to Torah, but it wasn't Lishma. His Reishis, his beginning wasn't proper. Wasn't for the proper reason. You know the story? The story was the Rabbanim came to the Brit and they began speaking. So the Gemara says, they explain the Gemara. The Rabbanim came to his Brit Milah and they began speaking Torah. And suddenly there was like a fire burning in the house. So the father, what the Rabbanim do? They came to burn my house down. So they told him he doesn't have to worry. It's not a physical fire. It's a spiritual fire. We just began speaking Torah and the fire that came around the house, it won't burn the house down. He said, his father said, I didn't know that this, listen to this, I didn't know that this is the power of Torah. This is the power of Torah, then I dedicate my son to the study of Torah. It's a wonderful thing. So what's this? So this says Chazal, that since the dedication, let's analyze it. We would think that this is fantastic. Since the dedication to Torah wasn't Lishma, wasn't for the proper reason, that's why when he had a test, he went off the path. Where's the lack of proper reason? He had fantastic respect for Torah. Torah has such a power. It makes a fire. The teretz is, what's the proper reason? Why is it not the proper reason? When I'm speaking about power, who Who wants the power? Where am I in the picture? I'm totally in the picture. Torah has power. That's ego. I want to have power. Just I recognize that Torah gives me power. It's still I. That's not the reason of the Torah. The word ani in Torah, or the first word of the Aseres Adibris Alechi Hashem Elokecha, the word ani makes another word. What does ani make? Another word in Hebrew. If you shift around the letters, can somebody tell me another word? Let's play Scrabble now. Make me another word of ani, which will give over a very strong message.
No.
What?
No.
That's interesting. That's interesting, but that's not the word I'm looking for, but that's interesting. But, very good. No, lies with a hay. You don't have a hay in ani. No. No. Ayin. Ain or ayin. Ayin, what does ayin mean? Ani. Ayin. Aleph, Yud, not ayin with an ayin, with the letter ayin.
Aleph.
Aleph, Yud, Nun. Do you know what that word means? Ayin means nothingness. Ain, like ain. No. Ayin is nothingness with an aleph. That means the ani of a person, the way to serve Hashem, he has to make it like a neichias kit ayin, as if it doesn't exist. Because batel, what's the ani? The ani is my ego. The ani is the source of all my will. And I have to annul my will in the front of the will of the Creator. Let me explain this. We have, so one of the great rabbis, he said, we have two statements, but they look like they contradict each other. One statement says, a person has to be like Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu said, Anoichi, what is my I? Ofa ve'eva, dust and ashes. But we have a Mishnah that says, Chayev Odom Loima, B'shvili Nivra'ilam. A person has to say that the whole world is created for me. How do these two things go together? This Rebbe said the person has to have two pockets, one on the right and one on the left. The one pocket is to write down and have in front of him the whole time, Anoichi Ofa Ve'efa, I am dust and ashes. And the other pocket, Shvili Nivra'ilam, for me the world is created. How does this go? How does it go together? Was the world created for me or am I dust and ashes? Am I the center of the world or not? The teretz is, when I'm following my own will, if I say, I'm dust and ashes, what is my own will? What is my will? That's the guf. The guf comes from Alpha, from Eifa. If I'm going after the physical attractions of Olam Hazeh, which not the Hirois HaTeirah, they're not the teaching of the Teirah, then I'm off of Eifa. I'm nothing. I'm like the guf. The guf is off of the whole Olam Hazeh is off of Eifa. It's Sefer Kol Olam Hazeh is Sefer Li'abed. It's Olam Azman. It's offer today and it's Eifa tomorrow. It's dust. But when I'm going after the Torah, which that's the true will of the Neshama, then Lahepech, the Torah is the Tachlis Abriya, then B'shvili Nivra'ilam. So when the Yetzer Hara comes and tells him to do something against the mitzvahs of Torah, he has to tell him so B'shvili Nivra'ilam. When the Yetzer Hara comes and tells him to follow something of Olam Hazeh, Anoichi Ofa Ve'efa, what's the Anoichi? That's the Tachlis. So that's the person is really, there's two concepts. A person is from one angle, bottle of bottle. He's nothing, but he's everything at the same time. If he has that power to annul his will in front of Hashem, and when he's going after Hashem, he's doing mitzvahs, then he's fully in charge. Then he's fully at the center of the world. And that's the concept. We have the Sfira Shalaimer is centered between two mitzvahs. We begin Sfira Shalaimer with on Pesach, with a Korban Mincha, Kol HaMinachos Bois Matzah, and it has to be after all the Minachos, like there's an Isa Chometz, there's a prohibition to eat Chometz on Pesach, in the Korban, on the Mizbeach, there's Isa Chometz is Kol all the year. Kol HaMinachos Bois Matzah. What does Matzah represent? Matzah represents, all the Svarim say, the Matzah represents another, humility. It's only Lechem and Mayim, it doesn't have any expansion. In other words, the Matzah represents the beetle, the annulling of oneself in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But then suddenly on Shavuos, we bring on the Mizbeach from the new crop as well, from the Chitin. What do we bring? The first of the Chitin, Kol HaMenachos Bois Matzah, Chutz Mi Shtei HaLechem. The Shtei HaLechem on Pesach, when it approaches it from the Mizbeach, and it's made from Chametz, two Chametz. What's going on here? Shavuos. I mean Shavuos, I mentioned. Yeah, right. Shavuos. On Shavuos, On the day of Matan Torah, we specifically have a mitzvah, that same chametz that we had to burn up and destroy, suddenly we bring it to the Mizbeach. Because when a person is makdish, when he dedicates the rachis to Hashem, in other words, he understands that everything in the world is not his, and all the gashmis belongs to Hashem. After the rachis ketzichim, after being mevatel himself, after leichiv off of the after he makes out of himself dust, that he uproots his own ritzaynis, so now he's a kli for the Ritzon Hashem, then the chametz is very important, because you can only, the person can, the tachlis, like the Mesilas Yesharim in his first parak, the person can only get to Olam, the purpose of creation is to get to Olam Haba. But the only way that a person can get to Olam Haba, to the world to come, is by passing through this physical world. It's as strange as it sounds. The only Olam Haba, the ruchni spiritual world of Olam Haba, only grows out of the physical world of this Mi tein ta mi tamei mayachol. Kara comes only from this world, which is Tami, which is Chayshich. Or you can't get to Or without Chayshich. The Or, the light, this is the Hashkofas HaTeira. Or has to come from Chayshich. You have to go through the Chayshich of this world. Hem tsoyim amagiyim es ha'odom la'olam haba hem amitzvus. And mitzvahs are only physical acts of gashmis in this world. You need the gashmis, but when is the gashmis a tool to Olam Haba? It's according to the Mitzvah Hashem. So after you anchor your own personal connection with Olam Haza, then the Olam Haza becomes transformed. The physical acts, if they're according to the halacha, they become transformed to spiritual acts. To the contrary, we bring them to the Mizbeach. But first you have to understand what is your relationship to the physical acts. As long as your eye is the Moishel, is the king, and you're going after the physical acts, then you're in off of the you're not going in the right path. But after you uproot your connection with Olam Haza, and you understand that Olam Haza is not existent, it's only there as a tool to come to Kodesh Baruch Hu, then the Olam Haza is beautiful. It brings you to the Mizbeach. And that's the concept of this period of time of Sfiras HaOmer. The Sfiras HaOmer is a preparation for the Kabbalah Satayim. And this preparation is this Hashkafa. This is the Hashkafa of the preparation for receiving the Torah. Because let's go back, let's take now a verse. There's a verse in Shir Hashir. Is there a city here? Yes, there must be a city here. Shir Hashir. It's for the receiving of the Torah. This is the period that Am Yisrael counted between the kingdom of Mitzrayim and the receiving of the Torah. And that's what we have to. What do we have to do in this period? Here, read this pasuk. Am Yisrael says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You want to read this pasuk? Moshcheni, read this out loud. Moshcheni. See the pasuk Moshcheni? Moshcheni Adonecha. Achrecha Lorutze. Havi'ani Hamelech Chadorah. No Gila, the Niskira, Nispecha Bach. That's enough. Now, the Gra explains. Am Yisrael says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moshcheni. When was Moshcheni? Pull me out of the tumah of this physical world. Pull me out of going after things which don't have any value and any eternity to them. Moshcheni. Where was Moshcheni? The Torah uses the word Moshcheni in connection with the mitzvah which we have Erev Pesach. What does the Torah say in Pashas Bo? Maybe you know, when it speaks about the tzon, Mishchu kechu lechem tzelav esalvis. Mishchu. And Rashi says over there, Mishchu. Schlep yourself. Mishchu is to be Moshe. Pull yourself out of the tomb of the Avodah Zarah. The Seah of Mitzrayim was the Avodah Zarah Mitzrayim. Pull yourself away from all the impurities and spiritual impurities. And bring yourself as a servant of Hashem. That's called the Pesach. Moshcheni. And so Hashem said to Am Yisrael, follow me out of Mitzrayim. And Am Yisrael, what did Am Yisrael do? Achrecha Lorutza. What's Achrecha Lorutza? They followed suit and ran after HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says on that period, Koyom Hashem, Zocharti loch, Chesed Nurayich, Avas Kulosayich, Rechtech Achrei Ba'mirbo Be'eretz Loizorina. I remember the kindness of your youth. What is the kindness of a youth? When Am Yisrael was born, The birth of Am Yisrael is the going out of Egypt. What was the kindness? They followed blindly. Let's picture this. Talk about this many times. Moshe tells them, we're going out to the desert. Do me a favor, since Hashem promised that one will go out with great richness, ask your fellow neighbor to lend you smolot and golden vessels and silver vessels. So they go out they're going out to the desert and they pack their bags. They have suitcases and chamorim, and they're all laden with clothes and silver and gold. But there's one little question. We're going to a land which is not planted. What are we going to eat? What about what we're going to eat? And nobody has the question. You got to be crazy. You're going to the desert, so when you go to a desert, you take suitcases of gold, you take suitcases of bread, of what to eat. And they don't, a crazy nation. 3 million people going out to the desert, and they don't pack any food. And you know what they ate? It says they took some shirayim, the leftovers of the mitzvah of matzah and morah, they took on their smallest, and it says that this matzah and morah lasted them 30 days till Yudal Adiyot, Tasvaviyot, when the man began to fall. But till the man fell, they lived from the pieces of matzah which are left over from their night of the Seder, the night before going out of Egypt. So this was fantastic emunah. Fantastic faith in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then in the man too, they put away for the next day, comes worms. What do we eat tomorrow? They had to be b'mnucha. Hashem that made a miracle today, tomorrow will make another miracle. As this period of time Hashem calls, that they put their faith in Hashem, because that's the purpose of all the mitzvahs. Kohen, they didn't ask, nobody asked the question, what are we going to eat? How is Parnasa going to come? How will they die from hunger? When trusted, if Hashem tells them to go out, this they trusted. So Hashem says this not only is it a schus for their generation, for all generations of Am Yisrael till Mashiach, they have this, the Ador HaMidbar has this schus that they put their trust in Hashem and they didn't ask the question, what are we going to eat? The Gemara has a discussion because they had a lot of tatoyim afterwards, a lot of sins. So the Gemara has a discussion. Do they have a chelik in Olam Haba, the Ador HaMidbar? Or don't they have a chelik in Olam Haba? The Gemara in Sanhedrin. So the Gemara says their schus helps for others. So it could be that they don't have a chelik in Olam Haba. Malach lini mahani. Is v'adayla atzma mahani. So it can't be they don't have a chelik in Olam Haba because of this schus of zecharti lechem chesed l'rayich abbas l'osayich lechtech achrei b'midbar l'eretz l'zmut. That they followed Hashem blindly. And that's what Shlomo HaMelech says in Shir Hashirim on Am Yisrael. That's the Moshcheni Achrecha Lerutz. Hashem Yisrael was Moshech them. He pulled them out of the tumah, and when he just gave them a sign that he wants them to become close to him, Achrecha Lerutz. They ran after him. When was this period of running after him? From Mashiach till the receiving of Torah. All this period that we count Omer, this is the following of Hashem blindly. And this is what the Torah's Meramis, all this period is B'china Shabbos. The Torah refers to this whole period. The Torah says, Sheva Shabbosois Temimois Tiyena. Yom Yisrael Lechem Sheva Shabken. Yisrael Lechem Mimochras HaShabbos. Sheva Shabbosois Temimois Tiyena. This is Hamishim Yom. As Sheva Shabbos is Tenimus, the Torah calls this period of time Shabbos. You have the Hirot, which we said there's a possibility. The possibility in this week's parasha, the possibility, I think. Usvartechem Yivochas HaShabbos, v'yol ha'afil v'sayim l'kudot, Sheva Shabbos is Tenimus Tiyena. Okay, here it is. It's Vayikra, Chav Gimel, Pasuk 15, Tezvav. Usfatechem Limochas HaShabbos, V'yom Avichem Es HaOimer, from the day that you bring the Oimer, Sheva Shabbosois Temimois Tiyena. 7, so this whole period of time has these 2 words that the Torah is using to describe this period of time. Shabbos, even though Sheva Shabbos means a week, but it's calling it Shabbos. Sheva Shabbos, and it's Temimos. It has the name of Temimos. You know, there's a mitzvah essay in the Torah. What is the need of Tmimus? There's a mitzvah called Tmimot. To be Tomim Tiyem Hashem Elokecha. What is the meaning of Tomim? Tiyam Hashem Elokecha. Tomim, Rashi explains, to put your full trust in Hashem. Not to ask questions about the future. So it says in Rashi, I think it's in Parshas Ki Teitza. Tomim Tiyam Hashem Elokecha. Shaloi Tachkor Acha Atidut. Not to ask what's going to be in the future. To trust in Hashem. That's the meaning of Tmimis. What is Shabbos? The whole Shabbos is a sign of Emunah. That means is the Zacharti Loch. Chesed Nurayich. What HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I remember the chesed of your youth. The love that when you became my nation, that Lechtech Achrei B'Midbar Be'eretz Lo Yizruah, you followed me blindly in the Midbar. That this period of time was specifically in the time of the Sfiras HaOmer. So the receiving of the Torah, too, they said Nasa V'Nishma. So that schus is specifically me'ir. It specifically lightens this time. This is the time of trust in Emunah and Hashem. That's the Sfiras HaOmer. The Sfiras HaOmer is that's Achrecha, that's the Achrecha B'Mitzvah. I said once, I don't know, maybe it's a joke. Maybe it's a joke. A similar double between the going out of Mitzrayim and the receiving of the Torah, we have 50 days, but actually the Torah was given on the 51st day, because Moshe ended the day. The Torah was given on the 51st day. So if you look at the Rashi Tevis, Achrecha L'Nutza, you have Aleph Nun. Aleph Nun is 51. That was the Achrecha L'Nutza that Am Yisrael ran after and followed blindly Hashem. And if you take these three words together, Mashrecheini Achrecha L'Nutza, we can make a word that we use very often in Tefillah. Which word can we make? It's a very popular word in Tefillah. It has a lot of deep meanings. What's the main? When we hear a bracha, we have to answer Amen. Because that Mashrecheini Achrecha L'Nutza, it's not in order, but it makes Amen. Why? Because that was the expression. What is Amen? Kel Melech Nemo. Trust in Hashem. Hashem is trustworthy. And Am Yisrael expressed, this was the act of Amen. It wasn't that they didn't say Amen, they acted Amen. This period of time was the living of Amen, of their Emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And b'schut that continues the pasuk. Now let's take to the second half. Havi'ani Amelech Chadolov. The Rebbeinu Shalom brought me into his. We followed him blindly and with trust, and because of this, he brought us into his inner rooms. Where are the inner rooms of Hashem? The inner rooms of Hashem are his Torah. He brought us into the rooms of Torah, the spiritual rooms of Torah, the understanding of Torah. So, according to the amount that a person expresses his faith in Hashem, so he will merit Havi'ani Amelech Adorah. That's Kabbalah Satei, receiving of the Torah. And after you receive the Torah brings you to be happy with Hashem. One is happy to be, one exchanges the happiness of this physical world with spiritual happiness, and filled with the mitzvahs of the study of Torah. Yikudi Hashem Yisrael V'Sachalei. Nogila V'Nislecha Bach. And the Medrash says, the word Bach, what is the gematria of Bach? No, Gila, the Gila is like the word Gila v'Simcha. Gila, what is Gila? What is Gila? Gila, what is Gila? What?
To reveal?
No, you're right. The word Gila, the Gila means to reveal. Maybe the pshat is when a person is happy, he reveals himself. But the word Gila is also the revelation of happiness. Gila, Rina, Gila, Hava the Gila. You know, it's not so easy. It's Hava the Gila. Hava the Gila, right? So when the Gila of Nismach Bach, will be happy and in Bach. What is Bach? What is the gematria of Bach? What's your name?
Hamlet.
Oh. What's your Hebrew name?
Yitzhak.
What?
Yitzhak.
Yitzchak. Let me tell you at least in the base Spanish. Yitzchak. So Yitzchak. Yitzchak is also from the same word Tzchaik. It's also happiness. So Bach is how much? What's the gematria of Bach? Chaf. Beis Chaf. Bach is written in there. Beis Chaf. So how much is it? 22.
22.
You know how many letters we have in the Torah?
22.
You don't count it. 22. As Regila v'Nismach Bach. Bach v'Teiroscha. We'll be happy in your Torah. So this, when did we have the happiness with the Torah? When we have the final holiday ends of Simchas Torah? the happiness of the Torah, that's Sukkot. So we have in this pasuk Pesach, Shavuos, Sukkot. It begins with Emunah. Moshcheni achrecha merutza. That's Pesach. Heavy ani b'schus that you run after Kodesh Baruch Hu as heavy mani and melech hador. That Kodesh Baruch Hu brings him into his inner rooms, and when you brought in the inner rooms, you have a kesh with the Rebbeinu Shalom. And the Mismach Habach will be happy with that Torah. We'll learn the Torah b'simcha, and we'll be tachas tzel kanti ashchina, which is Sukkot, tachas anana kodesh. We go under the anana kodesh. So first he brought them into the Torah, and he put them under his anana kodesh for 40 years. Day. That's Sukkot. So that's the rumah. But everything begins with Sfira Sa'im, and this is the Tchufa now. So this should be the beginning of the Zaman. Because when we count Sfira of night, this we have to know. The basic kavod you have to have when you count Sfira is Hishtoikis, to have Emunah in Hashem, not to ask the question, what will I eat? To trust that Hashem is taking care of a person's needs. Emunah and Chukah, the desire to add the acceptance of the yoke of Torah.
That's why we call schools over, and a hater.